Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the Lakers victory yesterday, 150 to 145 against Indiana Pacers. And with this victory, the Lakers improved the record to 39-32. They stay in the same position in this moment in the ninth place in the Western Conference in the playing zone. And the Lakers finished the season with a record of 3-0. So they play a very great, yeah, they had a very great week. About this game was very different. What happened the last Friday against the 76ers, because in that game was play a very defensive game where both teams play a very great basketball in the defense. But this game was completely different, because in this game again yesterday against the Pacers, both defense didn't play, both offense play a tremendous basketball level, and in the end the Lakers did enough to win this game. And in this victory, the Lakers scored the season high of 150 points. How I told you, they played a tremendous game in offense, unfortunately not in defense, and the Lakers won this game. That was the most important about this game. The Lakers have a complicated game in the first minutes of the game, where the Indiana Pacers took the lead of the game, and they held in all the first quarter, where the Lakers were losing by 8 or 10 point difference, but in the last minutes of the quarter, of the first quarter, the Lakers reduced that gap, and the Lakers just were losing by 6 point difference in the end of the first quarter, 30-36. The big difference for the Lakers, and where they took the big advantage, was in the second and in the third quarter, where the Lakers scored 42 points in the second quarter and 44 points in the third quarter, where the Lakers in these two quarters create that big gap and the difference to win the game. In the second quarter, the Lakers play a very great basketball in offense, a little great in defense, where the Lakers score 42 points. They allow 32 points. The Lakers won this quarter by 10 point difference, and the Lakers took the lead of the game by 72-68 in the halftime. In the third quarter, the Lakers played the best basketball of the game, where they scored 44 points. They allowed 31 points. The Lakers won this quarter by 30 point difference, and the Lakers increased the lead to 70 point difference, and the Lakers were leading 116-99 in the end of the third quarter. In this moment, I thought that the game was over and the Lakers were gonna to win this game. Where in the beginning of the fourth quarter, the Birmingham, the Lakers head coach, made a mistake, because he decided that the LeBron James and Anthony Davis took a race in the game, and in the first 3 to 4 minutes of the last quarter, the Indiana Pacers took advantage of this, that LeBron James and ID were resting, and they reduced the game to less than 6 point difference, and the game was emotion, because I thought that in the end of the third quarter the game was the final. The Lakers had the game under control, but they didn't, because they will have the Lakers head coach decide to that LeBron James and Anthony Davis take race in the first minutes of the third quarter. The Pacers took advantage of this, and they reduced the game to a 6 point difference. In the last minute, the game was very close in the last minutes of the quarter, where the Lakers couldn't close the game, because the Lakers had the game under control, but they couldn't close it. And until the last second of the game, the Lakers could win this game. The Lakers lose the last quarter by 12 point difference, 34-46. The Lakers play a very bad basketball in defense, especially in the fourth quarter, because how I told you, the Lakers last this game, they almost 50 point difference, but in the end the Lakers could get the victory. They won the game 150-145, and the most important is that they got the victory. That is important. In the overall statistics, the Lakers threw for a 56.2 percentage for field goal. This was a very great performance in the offense, but the Lakers allowed 55.5 percentage for the field goal from the Pacers, and they play a very bad basketball in the defense side. The Lakers made 12 3 points made, but they allow 18, and they need to improve they need to improve in the defense side, and About the turnovers, the Lakers improved for what happened the last Friday, where the Lakers, remember that they had 21 turnovers against the 76ers, but in this game they improved and they just have 10 turnovers. And in the paint, the Lakers won the paint by 2-point difference, 70-68. And about the individual statistics, the best player was Anthony Davis, that made a double-double with 36 points and 16 rebounds. LeBron James and Spencer Dinwiddie were the second best scorer, with each one scored 26 points. LeBron James made a double-double with added 10 assists, and Spencer Dinwiddie played a tremendous game. Remember that he was the starting lineup, starting guard in this game, because D'Angelo Russell didn't play. I don't know what happened, if he was sick or he was injured, but Spencer Dinwiddie played a tremendous game. We didn't miss the D'Angelo Russell, and the third best scorer was Austin Reeves with 25 points, and Taurean Prince with 14 points. So what happened this weekend? This was the last week. Sorry, the Lakers had a tremendous week. Remember that because 2 weeks ago the Lakers played back-to-back games against the Kings and against the Warriors, but the Lakers recovered and won 3 consecutive games. Remember that the Lakers played 1 week ago against the Hawks and they didn't have any problem and won this game by 31-point difference. Later, the Lakers rest 3 days and they played the last Friday, where the Lakers had a complicated game, but in the end they could get the victory and win it, and the Lakers won this game by 7-point difference. And yesterday, the game where the Lakers had the game under control, but they relaxed and they in the last quarter Pacers put the emotions to the game, but in the end the Lakers won the game. That was important. In this moment, the Lakers are in the ninth place with a record of 39-32. They are in playing zone. In this moment, the Lakers have a 2.5 game advantage against the 10th place. They are the Warriors, and the Lakers are 3 games behind the 6th place. They are the Sun. Who I told you, the Lakers, the most probably is they are gonna to play the playing tournament, because it's very difficult that the Lakers can be eliminated, because they have a 3.5 game advantage against the 11th place that in this moment are the Rockets. But the target for the Lakers is to try to get the 6th place. In this moment have the Suns have it, but it looks complicated because there is just 11 games left to the Lakers, and the Lakers have 3 games behind the Suns. So it looks complicated because the Lakers won't play against the Suns and against any of these teams in the rest of the 11 games, because the Lakers will play against the Warriors and against the Timberwolves in the Pelicans in the conference. So I think that the Lakers are going to play in the playing tournament, because it looks complicated to get the 6th place, and to be honest, it's going to be very difficult to qualify to the playoffs in the playing tournament, because in this year there are better teams. But let's see what happens. So this week the Lakers will play 4 games. The 4 games that the Lakers will play, will play as a away team, where the Lakers will play tomorrow. They will travel to the East Coast, where the Lakers will play against the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee, where tomorrow and 19:30 Eastern time. Remember that the Bucks in this moment, the Bucks are in the 2nd place with a record of 46-25 in the East Conference. They have 2 back-to-back victories. Remember that 3 weeks ago, the Lakers defeated 123-122 the Milwaukee Bucks in a tremendous game for D'Angelo Russell, where that was a tremendous game, where the game finished when Spencer Dinwiddie blocked the Damian Lillard shot, and the Lakers won this game, where I remember that D'Angelo Russell scored 44 or 41 or 44 points in that game. This will be a very close game, but to be honest, it's very complicated to play against the Milwaukee Bucks, and most when they are playing at home. So I think that unfortunately the Lakers will lose this game by 3 or 5 point difference. And then later the Lakers will play a back-to-back games, where the next Wednesday the Lakers will travel to Memphis, where the Lakers will visit the Memphis Grizzlies, and then 20 o'clock Eastern time. The Grizzlies in this moment they are eliminated. In this moment they are in the 13th place in the Western Conference with a record at 24-47. So they are eliminated of this competition. But remember that the Lakers and the Grizzlies have played 2 games in this season. The first game was in the NBA season a group stage where the Lakers didn't have any problem and won the game by 24-point difference. And the next game, the Lakers, I think that this game was this year in January, the last January, where the Lakers unfortunately lost that game by 40-point difference. So the both games were playing in Los Angeles, and this game will be played in Memphis. So I think that the Lakers in this moment are better team than the Grizzlies. So I think that the Lakers will win this game by 5 or 10 point difference. Later, the next Friday, the Lakers will travel to Indiana, where the Lakers will play against the Indiana Pacers and Indianapolis, 19 o'clock Eastern time. Remember that these two teams played yesterday, where the Lakers won the game, and these two teams, the Pacers and the Lakers, have played two games, where the Lakers have won both games. The first game was in the NBA season tournament final, where the Lakers didn't have any problem and won that game by 14-point difference and won the first NBA season tournament. And the second game was yesterday, where the Lakers won the game by 5-point difference. So I think this will be a complicated game, a thugger game that was yesterday, because the Lakers will play in road. But I think that the Lakers will win this game by 1 or 3 point difference, and the Lakers will close the week where the next Sunday, where the Lakers will travel, to Brooklyn, where the Lakers will play against the Brooklyn Nets. And in the next Sunday and 18 o'clock Eastern time. Remember that the Lakers and the Nets have played just one game this season, where the Lakers unfortunately lost this game by 18-point difference, when the last January or February the Nets traveled to Los Angeles and defeated the Lakers. In this moment, the Nets are in the 11th place in the Eastern Conference with the record of 26-45. They are trying to get in the play-in tournament, but it looks complicated because they are 4.5 games behind the 10th place are the Atlanta Hawks, and it looks complicated that they qualify. So I think that the Lakers are better team than the Nets. They are gonna to look for the revenge to what happened in the first game. So I think that the Lakers will win this game by 7 or more point difference. And remember something, that the Pacers, in this moment, the Pacers are in the 6th place in the Eastern Conference with the record of 40-32. So I think that the Lakers will finish the week with the record of 3-1. Because they will defeat the Nets, Pacers, and Grizzlies, and they will lose against the Bucks. So I think that the Lakers, the Lakers. I think that if the Lakers do a very great week, they could get the possibility to reach the 6th place. It looks complicated, but let's see what happened. So here was my opinion and my analysis of what happened yesterday, where the Lakers defeated 150 to 145 the Indiana Pacers. The Lakers finished the season with the record of 3-0. They improved the record 39-32, and in this moment the Lakers are in the 9th place in the Western Conference with the record of 39-32, and we are 3 games behind the 6th place. They are the Phoenix Suns. See you next video. Gibran.